life is suffering. Right. Indisputable. What do you do about that? You voluntarily accept it and then strive to overcome the suffering that's a consequence of that. And you do that for you, and you do that in a way that makes it better for other people. Your destiny is to discover that. And you have to make the decisions to begin with. It's like, because you can't do this without commitment. You have to commit to it first. That's the act of faith that Kierkegaard was so insistent upon. And the other thing that's so interesting about being alive is that you're all in. No matter what you do, you're all in. This is going to kill you. So I think you might as well play the most magnificent game you can while you're waiting. Because do you have anything better to do? You want to develop your personality, just do what you love. You know, it's a corruption of Carl Jung's thinking, because Jung would say, well, follow what you're interested in, it'll take you somewhere you really don't want to go. And then maybe you'll learn something.
We seem to be lost as a culture in a way where we don't really know which way to go, what direction to move to, what would be good for me, would that be good for everybody? Is it selfish to do things for me? Should I always think of the collective? What about what other people think? What if I make a decision now and 10 years from now I look back and it ended up being the wrong one? Should I go left, right, straight? Should I go backwards? Should I stay still? When we feel lost, it doesn't mean that you're a loser, that you're hopeless, that you're some kind of nobody, that you're a reject, that you're ungrateful or unwilling to change. When you feel lost and you are lost, it means that you're going somewhere. It means that you're moving, and you have been moving. Your life isn't stagnant. In fact, when you're lost, it's the complete opposite. Anyone who has done nothing with their lives and has no aspirations or ambition will rarely feel lost, because this isn't really a creative person. The creativity in us, that's the lostness, because we're looking for more and we're searching. And you, my friend, are a seeker, because a big part about being human is the need to discover and to explore and to leave the shores of home for something new, not necessarily better, but for something new. To see what that's all about, what this is all about, to make sense of the world around us and see how it resonates inside. So you are a seeker. You are an explorer. And every explorer, when they leave a shore, we all get lost. And what do you do when you get lost? What do you do if you're out hiking, if you're out in a city, you don't know which way to turn? What do you do?
What I would do. And he was like, well, what? I said, if I was in your situation, I know what I would do. And he was like, what? And I said, I would start walking. And he was like, well, you know, what do you mean? And I said, here, let me explain. This is what's going on with you right now. You just woke up. Like, you just came to consciousness, and you don't know where you are. And you're in the middle of the woods. And you're looking around, and you see trees, and it's like thick. You can't even tell where the sun is, right? But you know you're in the woods. You don't know where to go. And so what I would do is I would start walking. I would just pick like a direction, and I would start walking, and as I'm walking, I would eventually find a little terrain that's going downhill, and I would follow that terrain downhill, and eventually I'd hit a stream, and the stream would actually be a tributary into a river, and then from the river I would follow the river until I'd hit a road, and when I'd hit a road, eventually I'd follow the road to a town somewhere, and I'd figure things out, right? I'd figure out where I was. What you're doing is you're just standing there looking around, and you're trying to figure out where the town is, where civilization is, and you're waiting, trying to guess, and looking around and looking for clues, but there's no freaking clues. You're in the middle of the woods. There's no clues. There's no clues, literally. You have to go and find it. Civilization, the town, the thing is not going to come to you. You have to start walking. You don't know where you are. You don't know what to do. Start moving in some direction, and that'll give you some clues or some indication or some immediate feedback about where you are, and you can start assembling a better picture of what's happening. But that reframing the way you're looking at things and seeing opportunities instead of seeing punishments, and instead of seeing downturns in your life, seeing opportunities, it's just going to have such a much better impact on the way where you get to. I'm aiming to improve and get better and do a good job. If I go in there, this sucks, what am I aiming at? I'm aiming at this sucking. That's actually where I'm going to, the same thing when we used to do offensive driving. And when you're driving a car, if you start looking at if you got to go between obstacles and you start looking at one of those obstacles, you're going to hit that obstacle. That's, there's a tendency that you're going to hit the obstacle. You're going to go where what you're looking at. If you're in a spot and you don't know what to do and you're not sure where to go and you don't know where the right direction is, start walking and start looking for opportunities. And they'll show up.